Alrighty folks, welcome to the Thursday night show, and yes, the camera's moved again, but it's Thursday, which means I'm going to spend the next hour and a half or so painting Inquisitor Eisenhorn like I have been doing for the last few weeks. So thank you for joining me. I can see in the viewer counter we have 2 viewers on both YouTube and Twitch, which is absolutely fantastic, so thank you very much for coming along and joining me tonight. So we have a few things to say. Earlier on today, I pipped just over 100, I think it was just over, maybe I just hit 170 subscribers on YouTube, so thank you to every single one of you. And also I would like to give a big thank you shout out to my 3rd tier and above Patreons, Reese, Wayne, Tim and Chris. Thank you very much for being my Patreons. Without you, these shows couldn't happen. And with 170 subscribers on YouTube, that means I am just 80 subscribers away on YouTube before I give my next giveaway. And I already know what I'm going to do, but I won't actually tell you guys until maybe I hit 200 subscribers. And then I'll let you know what that giveaway is going to be. But I do know, and I think you're going to enjoy it. So don't forget to get the word out there, tell people to subscribe to YouTube, and yeah, and we'll get to that giveaway at 200 subscribers. And speaking of giveaways, YouTube's coming along quite nicely. It's just churning away, lovely and as it is. So that means that I have now turned my attention to Twitch and getting Twitch working as best as I can, which means that keep your eyes on Twitch as well, because once I start hitting, follower milestones, at 50 or 100 or so on, I might start giving away stuff just because I've reached Twitch followers as well. And none of my giveaways are going to be solely for, or certainly not yet, solely for Twitch or YouTube. So YouTube viewers can benefit from me gaining popularity on Twitch. Likewise, Twitch can also benefit. Twitch viewers can also benefit from my reaching milestones on YouTube as well. So, as viewers, it will be fantastic for you guys to get the word out there. Share the videos, share the channels. Tell people that this is what you like to do on a Thursday night or on a Monday night with Conquest, or even on every other Tuesday game show. Wayne, of course, shares all of the live streams once they're live every day, and everybody else can do that as well. That would be fantastic. But yeah, get the word out there, and the more subscribers, the more followers I get on both is going to benefit everyone. So yeah, and I have heard, if you're watching on YouTube, if you decide to start watching on Twitch, there is a little less lag. It's by about 15 seconds. So, obviously when you're watching on YouTube, when I say something, it doesn't actually come through on your computer until about 30 seconds later, which is why it would take a long while for me to reply to a message on YouTube. But apparently, Twitch is maybe only 15 seconds lag, and video quality is a little bit better as well. Apparently, I don't tend to watch. I've got YouTube. I've just got the screen in front of me, but I can't hear it, and I don't really watch it. I just make sure it's still running. So yeah, apparently it's got better quality as well. So feel free, choose one or the other. I'm still up until a point where I need to make a decision about that going on one channel or the other. I will continue to be on both, and likewise, if you keep an eye on the chat, you can chat with each other as well. I've got the bot in place that will post your chat messages on the other channel, so you can cross your streams, as it were, and you can talk to each other. So I am 5 minutes into the show and I haven't started painting yet. So I am, yeah, let's have a look at the model, and as he is, and you may remember that this is the state he was in last week. He's really coming along, and we did some we tried doing some, or I tried doing some layering on the cloak. That I think I gave it a good shot. Gave it a good old try. Of course, it's something that I am still learning to do. So of course, it won't be perfect. You can see that the old shoulder pads there have that blend going on there as well. Again, maybe not the best in the world, but I think I did a good shot. And last week I made a start on the face. We have plenty of other details to go, plenty of highlighting to do. We need to do some gold, get that face finished, and we will get cracking on with that. But just before I do start painting, I wanted to draw your guys' attention. Now, of course, I never want to tell you guys how to spend your money, but what I don't mind doing is spending my money and just purely giving you my observations and how they work for me, and if they don't work for me. So first up, what I've gone and done is I went to Green Stuff World, and I picked up the 4 sizes of Kolinsky sable brushes that they do. So these are natural hair brushes, and I picked them up from Green Stuff World. Now they're about £3 to £4 each, so actually pretty cheap, but they come from Spain, which is where Green Stuff World is. So you have to wait a little bit longer than you might have to wait on eBay or anything like that for these brushes. I have tried, this is the 00 here. I have given it a try out once, but I picked them up at the end of last week and I got really ill. But yeah, I have these Green Stuff World Kolinsky sable brushes. Now these would be the equivalent, if not maybe not as good as the Series 7s, which are also Kolinsky sable brushes. Now these arguably are the best brushes that one can buy. They're also marginally expensive. So yeah, I picked these up. They're a few quid each, and I thought I will give them a crack as well on my Thursday night show. All shared why the change in the brushes. Well, the change in the brushes isn't a change, it's I'm trying them out. I went out and I bought them. Kolinsky sable brushes. I thought I'll give them a go and I can tell you guys how did I find them. I'm not going to compare them against other brushes because of that would mean I'm giving you my opinion about how they work for me. I'm going to try and give you my factual analysis of them in terms of how do they behave in a very matter-of-fact way, so that you can say, oh, I like a brush that has long bristles, or I like a brush that is particularly stiff. I will try my best to keep them as factual as possible so that you guys can see more about how the brush is in a matter-of-fact way, rather than my personal opinion about whether they're a good brush or not. So how well do they keep the point in the way that I use them, of course. So yeah, so I haven't necessarily changed my brushes. I just thought, well, I had a couple of quid and they're only 3 or 4 quid each, so I picked up all 4 sizes. They have a size where is it? We have a size 3, size 1, size 0 and size 00. But one thing you do need to know about brushes is that sizes are not universal. So a Series 7 000, actually no, let me bring up one that we can compare directly to. This is a Series 7 size 0, and then if I find the size 0 here, which was this one, and we can pop it out of its tube, we can have a look at the 2. And the brushes are not necessarily identical. Now, I've already said that my Series 7 brushes are actually in pretty bad shape, but on the whole, let me just see if I can bring that to a much better point. I need to replace my Series 7 brushes, but yeah. But one thing I will say about the Green Stuff World compared to Series 7 ones, you can see that the Winsor & Newton brushes have a belly to them. They kind of have a teardrop shape to them, that's where the paint gathers, the reservoir here in the belly of the bristles. And the Green Stuff World ones do not have that. They literally just have, it's like a straight arrow tip, which is, you know, maybe that's what you like, maybe that's not what you don't. Like I said, I'm not going to say that's a good or a bad thing. I'm just saying that the reservoir of a Series 7 brush is bigger compared to the needle sharp tip of the Green Stuff World one. Right, so that's pretty much what I'm going to do. That's kind of what I'm going to do, is I'm going to give you my factual analysis of them, not necessarily my opinion. Are my Series 7s getting knackered? Yeah, and I didn't look after them properly either. So yeah, they're they've seen better days. But I mean, I bought my Series 7s very early in terms of my career. So looking after brushes was still new to me. Yeah, I bought my Series 7s at a time when, you know, I thought that just washing them in water was going to be just fine. So yeah, I didn't look after my brushes very well. So I think we need to actually get cracking on with a part of the show that you're actually here to watch. And so I'm just having a look just to remind myself where I was. So like I said, I need to continue highlighting the flesh. We have gold to put on, we have this purity seal to do, we have maybe some more highlighting to do, especially tidying up around the edges of the cloak. Try and get that done. And we do have some dusting to do. I want to add some dust to his cloak. There's a lot of gold that still needs to be done. But I'm going to make a start on this purity seal, and then I think we're going to get cracking on with the face. Washing in water. How do you look after your brushes? All I ever do is wash in water. Using brush soap as well. Using brush soap to clean your brushes so that you can condition your brushes to maintain their point and keep them supple and soft. Using this stuff, I mean, it bleaches out because it's white in my bright lights here. But yeah, that's what I mean. As far as I was aware, just rinsing a brush out is just fine, but it doesn't quite get rid of all of the paint. And also, the reason I found out recently, I watched a video recently that somebody explained why GW sells so many different types of brushes, and it's because you don't really want to be using your Kolinsky Sable brushes, for argument's sake, your natural hair brushes for washes. Because of the nature of the hair, they tend to soak up a lot more paint, and because of that, your natural hair brushes will get damaged by the wash because it will just suck it all up, and if you don't clean them properly, you are likely to damage your brush quicker. And brush soap you buy on eBay is the easiest place. I mean, you might be able to find some in a art supply store, but I've never seen this one, and this one arguably is the best in the world. You know, when anybody ever tells somebody to buy it, everybody, if you go on any Facebook page and ask for what brush soap should you buy, the Masters Brush Cleaner and Preserver. That is what everybody will say, and this one, it comes in various sizes, so you could buy one that's really, really small. I've had this one for about a year or so now. Can we hide that light there? Hide the light, there we go. You know, it does quite well, and you know, I clean all of my brushes in that. Yeah. So yeah. So if you use your natural, use a synthetic brush for things like really watery paints and glazes and stuff, just so that you can, shut up phone, just so that you can be a bit more vigorous with their cleaning, and without damaging the brush too much. But yeah, if you get a natural hairbrush dipped in wash, it'll soak it straight up to the ferrule. It won't stop, and you'll damage your brush. So use a cheaper brush, use a cheaper synthetic brush. It'll still get damaged, but it's a lot cheaper to replace than your best brushes. So yeah, that's why GW sells so many different types of brushes. Because if you try and wash anything with an artificer brush, you're going to damage the brush. So, and I'm also using a lot of the GW brushes. I'm giving them a try now. I went out and bought some. I mean, I'm getting a lot from Conquest, but I also picked out a few of the brushes as well, just to give them a try. Basically, I'm going to give them a good crack. So I'm using a small layer brush, but actually as soon as I got it closer to the model, I realised that this is nowhere near the brush that I need to use for this. So I'm going to wash that off, and yeah, I'm going to pick up one of the I'll grab the size 0 Green Stuff World brush and give it a crack, see how we're doing with it. So we'll rinse off any of the glue that they sell with, because nearly every brush comes glued in a point. I think it's probably something similar to a conditioner. Actually, it'll probably keep it conditioned. So yeah, let's give this brush a try. So we loaded that up. It's kept a fairly decent point, so I'm pretty happy with that. What's the P&P from Spain? A lot. No, it wasn't too bad. I think it was like 3 or 4 quid. I think. I can't remember off the top of my head. I'd have to actually go back into Green Stuff World and have a look. So this size 0 brush is pretty much the same size as the small layer brush. I'll put them side by side. Yeah, pretty much. So that's too big as well. So let me get the really small Green Stuff World brush, and we'll have a look. What I'm also going to do actually is I'm going to start keeping my brushes in their tubes as well. It might seem a bit weird, but yeah, they should keep really nice and protected in there. I really want to keep these brushes lasting as long as possible. I don't want to keep having to buy brushes all the time if I don't need to, and I need to start looking after my brushes more. So yeah, so let's get on with this one as well, see how this works. Again, that's kept a really nice sharp point, especially by the, you know, I've only been using them once or twice. Like I said, I got them at the end of last week. Around about Thursday they arrived, and then unfortunately I fell ill quite badly over the weekend, so I wasn't able to use them very much, and I've been trying to use the brushes over the week, but most of the brushes I've been using are the Citadel ones because of what I've been doing, so I haven't had a chance really to give these Green Stuff Worlds a run for their money. But considering this is supposedly supposed to be my best work, I think now is a good opportunity to give them a try. And one thing I have noticed already with these Green Stuff World brushes, they seem to have they've got one hair, which I believe is actually called the guide hair. It's a lot long, it's longer than the others, and so it's difficult to get difficult to really get into where you want it to go. The Series 7 brushes, they don't have a long hair protruding out the end. Or if they do, it protrudes a lot less. So just make sure it's not dust, but I'm pretty sure it's not. It's the hair. You cut off the guide hair. I think that's probably the worst thing you could do to it, to be honest. You cut that off too short, you're going to damage the tip of the brush, surely. Because that hair is supposed to be in there to, well, it literally does what it says on the tin. It guides the rest of the bristles into the point. Whoops, I dropped the brush then. Yeah, that guide hair is really annoying. The Series 7's ones, like I said, don't seem to have it protruding as much as the Green Stuff World ones. I will persevere with it for as long as I can. It is very annoying. The bristles also feel longer as well. Series 7s you can buy in different sizes. You can buy the regular ones or the miniature ones. Miniature isn't necessarily designed for miniature painting. The miniature in Series 7 basically just means that the bristles are shorter. That's literally all the miniature means. Quite happy with the way that face is looking. We've got one more highlight to make on that in a minute. I'm currently using Cadian Flesh Tone. So we used Bugman's Glow and we washed it last week. I then layered it with Bugman's Glow again, missing out the recesses. I'm coming in with Cadian Flesh Tone now with a highlight. Getting up those raised areas. Yeah, my phone does keep going off, Wayne. I'm having people messaging me on Facebook and your posts onto the Discord as well. And speaking of the Discord, if you're watching both on YouTube and Twitch now, there are links down below where you can find links to everything from all of my social media platforms, as well as ways that you can help support the channel. So feel free to have a look at those at your leisure. Alright, so Cadian Flesh Tone, and then now I will come in finally with Kislev Flesh. And I tell you what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in with another brush. Now, this one is just a natural hair brush, and I was using this one last week. And this is from Winsor & Newton, and they're the Scepter Golds. I was using this one last week, and it's a 00, so technically it's supposed to be, you know, the same kind of size as this one. But so yeah, this was the one I was using last week as well, to do some really fine details. And these ones are actually cheap than the they're cheaper. Maybe they're the same sort of price as the Green Stuff World ones, and they're a synthetic sable blend. So some of the hairs are set. I don't know how they make these things, but it is a blend. And so this is what I was using last week, and I will tell you how I feel about the difference between the two brushes. Let's grab some Kislev Flesh onto the palette. I've got a bit of dry paint on the end of the brush there, so I'll just pull that off. Now this is the really fine highlight. This is going to go on to the tip of the nose. Now the big difference that I know about this one, and these are a cheap synthetic sable blend, but there's no guide hair to it. It's still got a really nice point. I still have maximum control. I'm able to highlight his nostrils, but no guide hair getting in the way. The guide hair on the Green Stuff World brush was hitting the model first and then bending in a random direction depending on the orientation of the surface it was landing, which could send the rest of the tip going in the wrong direction that I wanted it to be. Whereas this is staying absolutely perfect. I can lay paint down without bending the brush at all, which is, as I was saying last week about the importance of getting really fine lines, it's making sure that the tip of the brush doesn't bend if you can touch the model without bending the brush, you'll get the finest line possible. Isn't the light on those cheekbones, shall we? It's got some very powerful cheekbones. Yeah. A couple of these knuckles. Alright. You're airdropping this onto my living room TV, so I'm a distance away from the screen, but I can see that face is really now starting to show, especially with that last highlight applied. I tell you what, if you think that looks good, why don't we have a look at it from? Let me just bring up that. Is that the right one? Hang on a minute, let me just move things around my screen. Is that what I want? Nope, that's not the one I want. Where's me? I want to configure the video. No, it's the wrong one. Huh. Hang on a minute. I tell you what usually works is if I do that and then that. I'm going to bring up my controller. I want to be able to change the focus. Not letting me focus. Oh dear. I tell you what. Yeah, alright. We'll have to leave that then. I was hoping to bring it up here and then you can really see it, but it's not focusing. So yeah, we'll get better pictures of that later. What I do want to do is come in with me picture, and yeah, he's definitely got some. Now I don't know how GW do their faces, but you know, they're not identical, but they're pretty good. So what I do want to do is see if I can get in there with some pallid witch flesh. Now I'm using pallid witch flesh to do his eyes, and I'm not doing white, because white is not really that natural. White eyes is very unnatural. What with all the blood vessels and stuff that you've got running through your eyes, from a distance your eyes are not brilliant white. So I'm going to pop a little bit of pallid witch flesh on the palette. Now, let's see, now I'm going to the 000 Series 7 here, because I don't have any brush smaller than this, and it does need to be a small brush and I do not want to be headbutting the camera. Gradually, you see, the problem is you've got to, when you're painting these small details, you need to move very slowly, and unfortunately you've got a balance between moving slow because you've got control, but moving quick enough before the paint dries on the end of your brush. That tip dries very, very quickly. Just add in some eyes. Right, that's one that does good. Now let's see if we can do the other one just as good. The other one doesn't seem to have as much detail on the model to use as a guide. Nope, paint's dry. So I mean, it paint dries really, really quickly. The rest of the paint in the brush is fine. If I wanted to highlight with this, I could quite easily be able to do it if I was edge highlighting something that needed a Panad Witch Flesh edge highlight. But because I'm painting the eyes, I'm literally using the finest tip on the brush. Obviously, I'm trying to get paint from the smallest spot on the end of the brush onto the model before it dries. It's a very tall order. And sometimes you gotta know when to quit while you're ahead. So I will be doing that. And then, because I'm not absolutely insane, I will not be doing a pupil with a brush. That would be absolutely insane of me to try. Instead, I have a water and fade proof pigment ink pen, 0.05 millimeters in diameter. I'll bring that up to there, which is, you know, all very well, but let's give you a point of reference. My 0.5 brush. The nib of my brush is actually a bit more bigger. Whoops. It's a bit bigger than the there we go. And what I'll be doing is I will do the dot of his eyes with a pen. And literally I just touch the model and try and get them as close to the same as possible. And I don't know if you can see that dot is so small. I don't know how well that shows up, but yeah, there we are. Now I do see on the box he has some deep set shadows on his eyes, but actually I think I'm just going to leave it there. there's no need to go crazy. And what I want to do is I want to do some hair. I'm going to add some hair. And what I want to do first is we need to give him some grey highlights. And I think let's have a look at the colours we've got. Yeah, scaling like dinge. Yeah, I think, yeah, Esching Grey, there we are. I never thought about using a pen. I use the brush. No, I prefer the pen. It's just a lot easier because a pen doesn't dry out so easy as it. I mean, with the eyes, you've got the, you know, you have a little bit more than just a single dot. But with a paintbrush, trying to do that with a paintbrush is, trying to do a single dot with a paintbrush is a bit worse than the eyes, in my opinion. It's not worth the hassle. So I like using a pen for the pupil. So what I'm going to do, so I'm going to use the Esching Grey now to give him some highlights to the hair, especially on some of these individual strands that I can see. I'm back to using the gold scepter brush now. I think it's actually giving me too big of a line actually, so I'm back to the tiny brush from the Series 7s. Like I said, I'll give them a quick shakedown. I won't be able to give you an accurate decision about which is the best brush after one painting session. That guideline in the guide bristle on the green stuff was a real challenge to overcome. By all means, if you've ever bought any of the green stuff world brushes and you find them absolutely perfectly fine, let me know. Let me know your experience with them, because I am by far not the world's most leading voice on brushes. Right, so that's given his hair a little texture, but he does have the old Mr. Fantastic Silver Fox thing going on. So I'm going to come in with Admin Grey. You guys never really thought about using a pen for doing pupils. There are people out there that paint with magic markers. Alright, so what I'm going to do here is I am going to, along the edge here, still using a really fine brush, just get rid of that drop of water before it runs down the brush. And just try and get kind of from the temples here. Just going to come in with a few lines. Hopefully that's going to give us, you know, a silver fox kind of look. There we are. Oh, look at that. Not gonna lie, there is a bit of a man crush going on here. Right, back with the Pallid Witch flesh, just for top there. Oh yeah, that finishes it off nicely. And on this side. There we go. Oh, and that changed that immensely. Look at that. I'll tell you what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the same thing for here. There. Oh yeah. And then a little bit. Some of these really high areas. Getting kind of that kind of peppering of imagine. There we are. Oh, I kind of like that. There we go. Look at that. It's not cheating. It's using the tools you have available. Just like an airbrush. It's a tool. Use it. I'm still adding ink to the model. Pigment, in fact. That's the thing. It's not even ink. Well, it is pigment ink, but it's pigment. That's what you're doing with paint. I need my Agrax shade, which is running out, but I bought some more today. You never said you don't approve. I don't think it's cheesy, but to save money, I would paint mine. Yeah, I mean, yeah, the brushes are about, oh Christ, some of the brushes can be about £5. Some of the pens can be about £5 each. If you're only doing it to paint pupils on. But I mean, you can also do it to paint writing on as well, but writing does look better if you use Rhinox hide rather than black. After the show, you're right on eBay. Excellent. Yeah, I mean, I can't remember off the top of my head exactly. I mean, evidently in the Discord we can have a chat, because obviously I can Google it. I can see which one that I've got. This one's the Fable. If anybody wants to, if you wanted to write this note down, it's a Faber and Castell. and it's and like I said, it's a zero. It's an extra small. No, actually, no. This isn't the one I was using, was it? Oh no, that's it. It's the Unipin fine line, a 0.5 mil, 0.05 millimeter brush pen. Yeah, I do have this one as well, but unfortunately this is extra small, and extra small is actually a little bit bigger than my smaller brush. Right, I keep putting it off, and now I need to get it done now. I think we need to start doing some gold. Gold detailing is needed. So we're going to start off with the Retributor armor as usual. And then I'm back to the Citadel layer brush now. I'm going to go out eventually. I mean, the Citadel Artificer brushes are I can buy them for £14. Well, £14 and change. They're expensive. They're more expensive than Series 7s. And as many people say, there is no difference between the two. But I will get some eventually. The other thing as well is, and like I said before, there's very few painting videos being done on my channel at the minute, just generally because of how busy I'm being. But once I can clear that, I will be back onto the painting videos full time. And I think it would be easier for people to follow along if I'm using Citadel brushes, just generally, because that way you can, I mean, I don't have to make it, I mean, it's pretty much what Duncan does on the Games Workshop site, and obviously they do that because they want you to buy their brushes, but it is easier. And I think that's why the Citadel system works so well, is that it's easy to know what brush you should be using if it tells you exactly what job the brush is for. You know, when you're using a small dry brush, you're not expecting to be edge highlighting, you know, and there's nothing saying that you can't go into a Games Workshop store, have a look at what a small dry brush looks like, get to know it, really understand its makeup, how it feels, and then just go to an art supply shop and find one that's a lot cheaper. You know, most of the Citadel brushes range from £3 to £5, and you can buy a small dry brush that will do the job for a pack of 10 for £1. You know, so, but if I told you what brush you're looking for exactly, rather than me trying to say, oh, you need a brush that does this, does that, does the other, I think it would be a lot easier for people to follow videos that way. Oh, we don't talk about the commission. No, it's taking its time. It's taking its time. But I will let patrons have a look at something later on after the show, which I've been doing as well to kind of keep me going, keep me pumped up for painting. one thing, when a commission starts draining on you, you have to kind of just take a break sometimes and just get something finished. And yeah, I'll on the Patreon Discord, I'll throw up a post of something that I've been working on over the last couple of days, as well as trying to get the commission done. Are the commands working? No, they're not. No, I still haven't cracked that cookie, unfortunately. Unfortunately, the reason why they don't work is that you're using, currently when you're chatting, so that I can keep up with it, I'm using a restream bot. And unfortunately, the Streamlabs OBS and the restream don't tend to, they're not mixing very well when it comes to the chat, which means the commands aren't working. I mean, there is a simple fix, which would be to have 2 bots running, but unfortunately that's then going to start, I'm running the risk of start taxing the computer again, so I can't have them both running at the same time. Yeah, it's something I am working on. Me and Mark, we're trying to figure it out. We're scratching our heads over that one, unfortunately. That needs to be re-picked out. That's terrible right there. How concentrated I am. Just like not talking. Must concentrate. What I need to do actually is I need to get a list together of like YouTube has a library of sort of royalty free music and a license free music as well. I might just have to put a massive playlist together so it just cycles through. We don't have any silent spots in the movie, in the show, so at least there's some noise. Can't you sing and paint? Actually, funny enough, I do think, if I remember rightly, if I sing songs, I can actually get copyright strikes for that as well. I'm pretty sure. So, you know, I'm terrible at singing anyway, so I wouldn't put you through that. But yeah, I mean, even if I sang songs while I'm painting, there's a possibility of getting copyright strikes for that. So. Yeah, copyright isn't anything to mess around with. Worth just to leave well alone and find the royalty-free music or pay a fortune for licenses. And when I say a fortune, it generally is a small fortune. You could pay a couple £100 for a single song. Of course, depending on the song and the artist. But yeah, it's not cheap to have music. Yeah, maybe I'll find some royalty-free music similar to the music that we've got on the beginning and the end of the show, basically. But it'll just be in the background, and I'll turn it right low. It's just that if ever there's any, rather than so, if you imagine this noise. For, you know, 5 minutes at a time, even 10 minutes. Whereas if we've got some music on, see, my end is fine here, man. Obviously, it's dead silent. So when I stop talking, I can really just concentrate on what I'm doing, and I can get in the zone quite easily enough. But of course, if you're not here actually doing what I'm doing, you know, dead silent air can be a little bit jarring. So get a little playlist together. But there is actually something on Twitch. Again, it requires me to have more followers than I have now. But and also have more people watching. But you can sort of use like Twitch currency, I think, or you have to be a subscriber, and you can put songs on. I don't know exactly how it works just yet, because I can't even, you can't even subscribe to my Twitch channel. You can only follow it, because I haven't got enough followers. But yeah, something I'll look into if and when it comes to that, so further down the line. Right, they're going to be a different colour, and I need to actually highlight those in gold. So I'll leave that as that is for now. We're getting there. I mean, from the front though, he is looking rather sharp. Yeah. I believe so. Yeah, I believe you can actually. I can actually put them on the screen. I don't know exactly how it works. It might have to be a Twitch thing only or something. I don't know how it works exactly. But yeah, it's something that is something I'm thinking about. Yeah, and yeah, I am definitely thinking about, you know, getting the Twitch up there. And Twitch does have, you know, there's also, you know, the ability to subscribe, and I already, you know, you guys, I already have Patreons, but the subscribing on Twitch is a way for the channel to generate revenue. Ironically though, if you guys have got Amazon Prime, it's something that I'm doing for a channel as well. Is if you have Amazon Prime, you can actually use Twitch Prime to subscribe to a channel per month, to a single channel per month for free. So it's definitely something I'm looking to. But I mean, obviously, then I need to start thinking about, you know, what can you get on Twitch as a subscriber that you can't get as a free follower, apart from badges and stuff. There's like mini games and currency and stuff. So it's a whole host of things coming up in the future for the channel if it grows, especially over on Twitch. So yeah, there's a whole lot of things coming. So many plans, so many things, so many ideas rolling around in the head. And actually, I don't know if any of you noticed. I don't think you may not have done. Well, you wouldn't have done. But I've rearranged the studio last night as well, just to get myself into a bit more comfortable, actually, compared to, you know, where all my paints are and everything, and the space that I have available. I need to find a way of how to watch Twitch that's not on my computer on a big TV. I've got a big TV now set up on a shelf that I want to put Twitch onto, so that I can free up my computer space for that. So at the minute my computer's running Twitch and running the stream, and it's, yeah, loads of ideas. Like I said, lots of ideas rattling around in my head, and I'm not going to get them all. I'm going to get them all implemented straight away, but it's definitely something I'm aiming towards. Now, let's have a look here, because what have we got going on here? I need to have a look at paint. Let's have a look. Under bone, parchment, Rakath, pallid witch. Yeah, I was right. I was a bit confused then. I didn't think this was the right paint, but it is. So here we go. For the parchment on these period shells. We are gradually approaching the end of the show, so adds a bit of colour to the parchments here. I want to get the gold washed before the end of the show, so that it's nice and dry and ready to go by the time we start the show next week. Nothing worse than starting a show, putting wash down. Especially towards the point now where we're starting to run out of things to be able to do while we're waiting for another part of the model to dry. I can really bring the whole process to a halt if I put some wash down and wait 10 minutes for it to dry. And white scarf, which really needs proper shade. White is terrible. One more show to finish him, maybe one more, yeah, I think so. I mean, it'll be pretty close. As always, I mean, it depends on how he's looking towards the end of the show next week. So if we get to this sort of time next week and he's, yeah, pretty much done, I might push the show a little bit longer, like I did with Gabriel Seth. I think maybe with the Canoness as well. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. The next project is, I know what we're going to do. It's just a case of, I just hope that I have the model in time. So we'll have to see that. That's why I haven't announced it publicly. Of course, Patreons already know what he's going to be, because we've already discussed it and planned it. But the next project, I don't actually have the model yet, and I don't know when I'm going to be able to pick it up. And unfortunately, if we get to a point where this guy's finished and I don't have that project ready for the next show, I'm going to have to do something else instead, which will be a little bit unfortunate. So we'll have to see how that goes. Alright, so let's get some wash down. I do have a shade brush. I do have the shade brush. I think this came with the Conquest magazine. There's a medium shade brush. It's just far too big for what I'm wanting to do with it, so I'm going to have to use the layer brush. Yeah, patrons already know what it is. If needs be, I'll remind you on Discord, on the Patreon Discord, unless of course Chris wants to enlighten you before I get there, but on Discord of course, because I don't want it public yet. So yeah, I'm going to make sure we get the shade done this week, and then that's ready. Once I come back, start of the show next week, the shade will obviously have been dried, which certainly should be after a week. Yeah, once the shade's done, I'll be able to just get started on the highlighting pretty quickly. I do want to show you the salt and pepper hair. I might have to do it on the face cam. There's no light up there, which is unfortunate. So I don't even think, even if I got the model up there, I'm not going to be able to show it to you. I missed a bit in the stuff. So yeah, I still have highlighting to do on the edges of the cloak. I need to finish tidying that up, and I need to finish. I'm still laying some base paints down as well as yet. So there could be 2 more shows. I honestly don't know. It's just going to be a case of having to wait and see. So just wait for that base paint to dry just very quickly. hopefully I can get that. I want to get that. Yeah, we'll see. There you go, Wayne. Just check tier 1 Discord. I just told you what the next model will be. And once you read that, you'll realise why I don't know when I'm going to be able to pick the model up yet. There we go. There we go. Alright, so I'm having a look at this. I mean, we don't have much detailing going on in the... there's a lot of busy stuff on his chest at the minute. And I'm not really sure how I'm going to sort that out. I'm going to put the pot away. There we go. Cool, can't wait, thanks. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, so I've got the so the models here. I'm not sure why I don't have the camera controls. I hope that's in focus. It looks like it might be in focus on there. And, especially if you're Chromecasting it up to your TV, that should be nice and big. I'm actually looking at TV on mine as well, so he's coming along nicely. I am thoroughly chuffed with the way that this guy's coming together. The front is looking pretty good to me, and the back, it's getting there. I mean, like I said, we need to tidy up those layers up a bit. I'm not sure how I'm going to approach it, but yes, I've given him grey temples. Yeah, he does. He's got that got a bit of salt and pepper look going on. Make all those ladies swoon. I think he's awesome. I think it looks really cool. And I'm quite glad about that. I will throw up a post on Instagram and on Discord if I remember, and on Twitter, of course. But yeah, he is looking fine. I really do. I am enjoying this model. He's doing fine. It is a kind of Paul Hollywood kind of look, yeah. Just with a little bit more black in his hair. But yeah, I'm liking that. It's yeah, he's looking pretty good. Yeah, so next week, yeah, we'll hopefully we'll finish off. I mean, I want to finish off that next week. The staff here. Once the staff has got paint on it, it's pretty much going to have the entire model will then be painted, and then it's just a case of various highlights and washes and stuff, and then we'll finish. And obviously the base, the rim of the base, but the rim of the base doesn't get done until obviously the final thing, so that the grips doesn't damage the paint. But yeah, there we are. So we're approaching, it's 20 past 8 now, or 25 past 8 for me. Almost. Where are we at? Where are we at? Yeah, it's about 20 past 8. So I mean, I'm pretty much happy with what I've got done. There we go. Now it shows up. All right, hang on a minute. Let me just do something here, because this is what I wanted to show you earlier. And now that I've got the got it up here, here we go. This is what I wanted to do. Get rid of the autofocus. Hang on a minute. Is this the one? Oh no, it's the wrong camera. Ah, alright, never mind. Alright, I was trying to be clever, it's not working. Anyway, so yeah, he's looking fine, and he is looking absolutely fantastic, and I'm really enjoying painting this guy. We hit 2-3 viewers on Twitch tonight, which is absolutely fantastic. Thank you very much. We got 3 on YouTube as well, which is brilliant. So like I said, if we can build that up and get it nice and big and big and big and big and build it up, the plan is to then, I mean, YouTube is doing nice. We hit just over 170 people today, which is fantastic. I'm thankful for every single one of you. Yeah, 171. Yeah, that was it. Yeah, we just tipped over that today. I got 2 subscribers today. The first one was hitting 170, and then the next one went, picked me over it. Like I said, at 250 subscribers on YouTube, I will be giving away something. And I already kind of have an idea of how I'm going to work it, but I will let you all know exactly how that will work when we hit maybe 200, 225 somewhere. So if we've got 50 or 25 subscribers left to go, I think we'll do it at 200. I'll announce the giveaway ready for 250 subscribers. And don't forget, if you only watch on Twitch, you are still qualified, will qualify to be in for a chance of winning, the giveaway. YouTube success benefits Twitch watchers. Likewise, when I start giving away things for Twitch followers, or when I get their subscribers, I might actually, here we go, this will be a thing. For me to become a Twitch affiliate, I need to hit 50 Twitch followers and have an average viewing of 5 people. So once I hit Twitch affiliate, there will be a giveaway also, and we're getting there. So there we go. So there's going to be 2 giveaways, and just because you watch me only on YouTube doesn't necessarily mean you can't get in for the Twitch giveaways. Twitch affiliate basically means I can get subscribers. So don't worry about what it means. It's just I'll let you know when I'm getting there. So there will be once I get Twitch affiliate, I will be able to I will do a giveaway there, and I will also give a giveaway on YouTube at 250 subscribers. Both platforms can enter the other competition. It's not going to be exclusive. So it's up to the community, if you like what I do, to help me succeed in what I'm trying to do. And like I said, once I get rid of the commission, there'll be more videos being done on a regular basis as well. Other than that, I did forget at the beginning of the show, the models. Send me your pictures of models that you've got that you want me to show. Let me know what your Instagram feed is and stuff, and you can be on my story, and I will throw your pictures up on the stream as well. Other than that, that's pretty much the end of the show. Thank you very much for Chris Wayne for joining me tonight, and it's been a pleasure. There's a bunch of noise behind me, so I better go and find out what that is all about. So I will say thank you for watching this one, and I will catch you in the next one. Alright guys, see you on Monday for Conquest.